Oh man, I love this move. This is I called this the trip to oblivion. Fuck, that's beautiful. God damn, I love that move. All right, so this is April 2005. This is me and the Trailer Park Gangster. So at the time, Nappy and Evan is the top feud in the company. They're feuding over the Underground title at this point. So I need something to do while they're doing that, and TPG was kind of the only guy left, so this is my program. You know, TPG was kind of, he was a jobber. You know, he was a guy where every time he showed up, he was going to be taking a 3-second tan. But God bless him, he still came every single week knowing he was never going to get his hand raised. So this whole feud here, basically, I was playing the long game. Like, we were a tag team at the tail end of the live era of CCW. That we were tag team throughout the RCW World Tour. At the very beginning of this Underground era of CCW, we were a tag team, and the whole reason we became a tag team is because I knew I'm going to be feuding with him down the road. Let's set that up. So the whole reason we became a tag team was so that way I could turn on him, turn heel, and we could have this feud ready to go. This look right here, the black and red with the ponytail, this is probably my favorite look for my backyard wrestling career. This is kind of peak Craven. You know, it doesn't really go downhill from here, but it plateaus from here. I'm right here. I'm jaw-jacking with our referee, Seth. He was our official referee. He was kind of like our Earl Hebner. He's got his head bandaged because we did a whole storyline with him getting attacked by another wrestler named Methodox earlier in the day. But he's going to come here. He always took his referee duties very seriously. He'd pat everybody down. He'd call for the, hey, open the fist. You know, if you try to use a closed fist in a match, you know, he's one of those old school refs, and we liked having people in storylines that weren't just like, oh, every match has a guest referee because who's ever not wrestling will just be our ref, which is what we did for a long time. When we did the live era CCW, we had Tron as our official referee. We didn't have Tron here, so Seth took over that role. And I liked it when we didn't have to have wrestlers pull double duty, when we could just have, like, here's our official ref, and then he becomes a character that everybody is used to, and we can do storylines with, where it's not just another wrestler. But the thing with TPG is, you know, God bless him, he was a little slow. Like, he was a little slow. You always had to, like, carry him if you were going to be in a match with him. You don't want him in charge of his own offense, because then he'll just copy John Cena and hit you with a 5-knuckle shuffle. So with this match, I was determined to get a good match out of him. I was like, God damn it, I'm going to put my working boots on. I'm going to be this ring general, and I'm going to get a goddamn good match out of him. But you can see right here, I go for a Northern Light suplex, and he kind of sandbags me. He doesn't get up. He doesn't get over. And so I have to be careful not to drop him on his head. So this whole match is basically me telling him, hey, do this, duck this, hit me with this. Like, I have to call pretty much every spot in this match, but I was determined to get a good match out of him. I was like, look, I'm going to take chicken shit and make chicken salad out of it. Okay? Like, just because I'm not in the main event doesn't mean I can't have a main event caliber feud or a main event caliber match. And so my mindset going into this is I was like, look, this sumbitch is like 150 pounds soaking wet. God damn it, I can do anything I want with him. I'm going to get a good match out of this son of a bitch. And then he wasn't flat. I was trying to do the cattle mutilation Daniel Bryan was doing, but he wouldn't get flat. One of the things is, you know, we don't have ring ropes, so we can't really do that spot where you're reaching for the ropes and you pull them away from the ropes and they're clawing and they get the rope break and you got to break the submission. We didn't have that gimmick at our disposal. We couldn't use that storytelling device. So instead what we did is the referee's actually counting, and we would have like a 60-second time limit that you could hold a submission on. You can only hold a submission for 60 seconds and you have to break it. That was kind of our way around the not having a rope break here. This gourd buster, I always really liked how that looked. I could only really do it to TPG because he was so light, but I liked the way that looked so much. I would actually kind of take that and modify it and turn it into a new version of my finisher, the spine splitter. And then we were supposed to double clothesline each other, but he tried to do one of those inside out flippy bumps. And so that meant he didn't really clothesline me. So I just kind of had to go down because I wanted this double down where we could turn the tide, have him start making a comeback. But again, he just hit me with like one punch and then a leg drop. And then he's going to go for a cover off of that. You know, he's not getting him to make a fiery comeback was always hard. Bam! Super kick. I didn't do a lot of super kicks. That was probably the best one I ever did. And then I'm going to go for my submission here, the Killer Craving. It's like an inverted STF. You know, I did this a lot. It was, you know, I think I had an okay bridge. I was never really super flexible, but I had an okay bridge. And so right here, like I was saying, we didn't have rope breaks. We have a 60-second count. And so my thing that I would do as a storytelling device is I would chain all these submissions together. I'd put somebody in a submission, and then when we were getting close to the count, I'd put them in a different submission. And every time I'd put them in a new submission, it would reset the count. And so this was a storytelling thing I could do to add some drama to our matches, give submissions some meaning, and just kind of have some psychology with what we were doing. We were really starting to learn about psychology and match structure. He's going to go for his running neck breaker here. So I'm going to sit up, and then he's going to run. Bam! Kid Crush taught him how to do that way back in the PWL days, and it's been in his offense ever since. It's probably the best move he has in his arsenal. But then he would go for it again, and I would just start to stand up and let him kick me instead, because it's like, dude, you don't hit the same move twice in a row. And right here, he's going to go for a suplex, but then he doesn't help get me up all the way. It's like, I can't do the whole move by myself. You got to help me, dude. And he wouldn't. I jumped. I got up, but he wouldn't get me the rest of the way. So he just kind of dumped me on my head there. You know, but with around this time, right here, I'm going to go for another Northern Lights, and he's going to botch it again. So then I just turn it into a spine buster. And I'm going to put him in another submission, which I think was like the Execution. I was trying this out to see if I liked this more than my Killer Craving inverted STF. But, you know, right around this time, I think Raven had done a bunch of shoot interviews with either High Spots or RF Video called Secrets of the Ring, where he would break down match structure and psychology. And so we were learning about shine and heat and comebacks. And we were trying to do more storytelling in our matches. Because we were really determined to be like, how come our matches suck? How come our matches aren't compelling? Why doesn't this look as good as, you know, what we see on TV? And so we were trying to just be a sponge. You know, this is pre-YouTube, so the information that's out there is pretty limited. But we were trying to absorb as much information as we could. And I'm trying to toss TPG around. I'm trying to get some heat here. You know, God damn it, TPG being essentially a jobber, you know, he's not really credible, and I wanted to give him some credibility, because the thing with a jobber is, if you always lose, it doesn't matter when someone beats you, because everyone beats you. So my job here was, okay, if I'm going to be in a feud with this guy, like, I've got to make him look credible. I've got to make him look like a threat. I've got to build him up, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. I always wanted to do Germans, and I sucked at German suplexes, and it doesn't help that he's kind of sandbagging me here. Oh, that was fucking terrible. Because for whatever reason, I could never get like a good waist lock on a German. So every time I would try, my arms would just slide up their chest, and then they'd land with all their weight on my face. But since TPG was so goddamn light, some bitch was like 150 pounds soaking wet. I was like, I could probably German him. And no, I couldn't. Especially because he would fucking sandbag me on all those. What I should have done is grab some mattresses or some mats and practiced, and then when I have it actually looking good, then do it in a match. But throughout my career, unfortunately, I would do this thing where I would just try things for the first time in a match, and that's not what you're supposed to do. That's pretty terrible. Right here, I'm totally calling the next spot. I'm telling TPG, hey, do this. The referee's listening too, so that way the referee knows what's going on. We always want to keep the referee involved. The referee is just as much of storytelling in a match as any of the wrestlers are. If he doesn't count the 3 in the right place, if he does count the 3 in the wrong place, that's going to screw up our match. I don't know what the hell TPG is selling. I wasn't really working on his leg or his hip, but he's just going to kind of hop around here. God bless him for trying to sell something. I just wish it made sense what he was selling. And then I'm going to throw some fisticuffs. Oh, yeah, and then I'm going to do another spine buster with him. Since he was so light, I could toss him around in a way I couldn't with other people. Nappy was twice my size. I couldn't powerhouse Nappy around like this. Poe is a big, monster. I couldn't powerhouse him around either. TPG and Kid Crush were kind of the only people I could get away with powerhousing. So I wanted to take advantage of that here. TPG botching my neck breaker. I'm going to turn it into a submission. I really wanted to be that ring general. I couldn't be the flippy dippy dude like Kid Crush. I couldn't be the ground and pound powerhouse like Poe. I couldn't be, this agile freak of nature like Nappy. So I was like, well, I can be a ring general. Let me be that. Right here, that like wrist spot. I saw American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, and AJ Styles do that in Ring of Honor, and I wanted to try it here. Didn't really work. Didn't really make sense. That just goes to show how out of touch I am when I'm comparing myself to Bryan Danielson and AJ Styles. But, that's what we would do. We would try stuff. We'd watch a lot of stuff from the indies. We'd watch stuff from like Japan and Mexico. We'd be getting tapes off High Spots. We'd go to indie shows, and we would just kind of see what else was out there and try and cherry pick the stuff we liked and the stuff we thought we could do, because we really wanted to kind of like, diversify our product. We didn't just want to be like, we didn't want to just copy WWE or copy TNA. We wanted to like do our own thing and kind of innovate wherever we could. So we would do a lot of stuff like that. We'd watch indies and be like, hey, we can do that spot. We'd watch stuff from Mexico and be like, oh, we could probably do that. And then we don't really have ropes. So if we got to do anything high flying, it's pretty much just that one bench here. But then I'm going to go up, watch this beautiful flying elbow drop, shades of Shawn Michaels. That's probably the best elbow drop I ever did. God damn, that was pretty. And I'm fucking gassed at this point. So I got cotton mouth real bad. TPG sandbagging me this whole fucking match. Like I'm literally like carrying him through this match, figuratively and metaphorically, And so I'm not an athlete. Spoilers. I'm gassed out at this point. I think we're gonna go 20 minutes, and so this is very much an endurance for me, trying to go this long with TPG and get a good match out of him. And then we both came out with these kendo sticks. There wasn't really a storyline reason why we would come out with kendo sticks, but we did. And we do this little like double sword fighting spot where with the double down. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only thing we do with these kendo sticks. I really wish we would have used these kendo sticks more. Because it's like, we make such a big deal about we both come out with kendo sticks, and then this is the only spot we do. It's like, what? That's one thing, as I'm so critical looking back at some of this stuff. I'm like, we should have done way more with those kendo sticks. If we're going to make a big deal about us having them, we should have made it a big deal in the match and utilized them in the match a bit more. But, oh well. And then here he's going to drop me on the bench. Bam. I don't feel a thing, but I'm going to sell my ass off for him because I'm determined to make him a star. Because the more I build him up and the more of a credible threat I can make him look, the bigger deal it's going to be when I eventually beat him. He's going to throw me over there. I just kind of have to sell my knee as if I tweaked it because I need a reason to sell. Because if you look, all he did was throw me over that bench, and look how long I have to be down for. Like, TPG was so bad about hitting offense. Oh, he's going to hit a flying elbow drop with the kendo stick. Cool, we did something else with those sticks, but then he's going to toss it away. You know, TPG, God bless him. I appreciate him showing up, but sometimes it was hard working with him because, again, he's just getting him to hit offense, getting him to have a believable offense, getting him to stay on the offensive. Like, that was always a challenge with him. You know, here, he's going to botch this. He was trying out this new finish where he would do like an inverted DDT and flip over you and stunner you. And we were trying it here off the bench here, but he didn't flip all the way. And so I had to like catch him and guide him and protect him to make sure he didn't land on his head. And then I kind of turned it into an offensive move. But that was the thing, is we would try and come up with cool stuff for TPG to do, and he either wasn't able to do it or he would half-ass it. And right here, he's way too close. So I'm trying to hit a swanton bomb, but he's so close that it's really just like a shoulder roll. Oh man. So I'd gotten some blood capsules. I'm getting a blood capsule out of my backpack because I'm going to use that in the next spot. Unfortunately, I did not tell the announcers this, so during this match, the commentators are just like, check his hand, ref! He's got something! He got something out of his bag, ref! Check him! And it's like, God damn it, guys. I should have told them what I was doing so they wouldn't draw attention to that. I also probably should have just had, like, the blood capsule in my pocket or given it to the referee, you know, treated it like a blade and just like, here, hold on to this. I'll tell you when I need it. Oh, snap. So I was trying to find a way to make his finisher awesome, and we came up with this, where he hits me with the axle on the bench. I go down, and that's where I pop the blood capsule. I was really trying to get him over and really trying to make him look like a force to be reckoned with. So I have this blood capsule in my mouth. Unfortunately, I'm fucking gassed, and I got cotton mouth real bad. So the blood capsule isn't really doing anything, and you can't even really see it on camera. So it was kind of all for nothing. And then he's going to go 1, 2. Yeah, I should have had like the blood capsule in like a Ziploc bag, like behind that bench, or given it to the ref or something. But then even then, like, it doesn't do anything because my mouth is all dry and cotton mouthed. God damn. Oh well. I tried. The best laid plans. I had an idea. It just didn't work. Oh man, I love this move. This is, I called this the trip to oblivion. Fuck, that's beautiful. God damn, I love that move. I love that move. That was my favorite move I ever did. I never used it as a finisher. It was just like a regular ass move for me, but god damn was it pretty. You know, that was the only time I felt like a goddamn Brock Lesnar in the ring, was when I could throw people with that trip to oblivion. And then I'm trying to diversify my offense, so I would do this thing where I would mount somebody and I'd hit these fisticuffs. And then I'm going to flip around here. TPG's a low gas now. And now I'm going to hit these knees to the head. I'm trying not to step on his hands. But I was trying to incorporate stuff like that because we had a really bad habit of, we would just take somebody's finisher and use it as a regular ass move. So people would hit a tombstone as a normal move. You know, people would hit Swanton Bomb as a normal move. He would hit a pedigree as a normal move. And so I wanted to incorporate, I didn't want to keep doing that. So I was trying to come up with new offense I could, you know, add to my arsenal here. Right here, I'm going for the Craven Clash. This was my old finisher, but I had stopped doing it. I can't get his arm hooked, and it pops out. And so I ended up kneeing him in the back of the head when I hit it. But then if we look here, I'm going to go for the cover. 1, 2. He's going to kick out. So this is one of those wrestling things where if you hit an old finisher, it's for some reason not as effective as it was when it was your current finisher. I don't know why that is. That's just one of those wrestling things. He was supposed to reverse this. I'm going for my finish, the spine splitter. He was supposed to reverse it, but he didn't. And so the commentators are just like, wow, he spine splitted him out of his shoes because his shoe came off. And I was like, God damn it, TPG. So he finally remembered to reverse it here, but the commentators are so distracted by his shoe coming off that they miss the finish. They miss him hitting me with the axle. And so he's going to go for the cover here, and I'm going to put him over because, again, I need him to be a credible threat in order for this feud to work. If he's a jobber, it doesn't matter when I beat him, so I need to build him up so that way when I get my win back, it actually means something. But Goddamn, was that hard. I think this is one of TPG's best matches, though. This is a really good match. I'm really happy with this. I've always liked this match, but goddamn did I have to have my working boots on in order to pull it off.